Hey guys, good evening. It's Larry Cool the Gamer here. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been quite a while since I've done a video. It's been a few weeks. Yeah, sorry about the floor. You're probably noticing that you're saying, oh, it's really dirty, blah, blah, blah. It's wood stains is what it is. Can't help that. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about that. When you see this video, you know that this is about video games, of course. It's been long overdue. Been wanting to show my Nintendo Switch collection, rather, to you guys, but I've been so busy with work, and I got a second job. Well, at least I hope I got the second job. And then I'm going to be even busier, so I won't have as much time to play video games like I wanted to, or want to. But from what I got here, I got to show you guys what I've got. I got this, of course. I got the actual system. I got it from one of the video game stores close to where I live, Empire Video Games, and I did not pay $300. I only paid like half because I had a bunch of store credit there from Larry, the owner, and Larry, I gave him $150 and basically got this. I got the Nintendo Switch back, so it's nice to have this. And I got it brand new. So, of course, I opened it though. I mean, I'm not just gonna let it sit there. But yeah, I did buy it brand new at half price because I used the rest of my store credit to get it half off. I also did buy a AC charger, AC adapter thing, because the Switch I had, I couldn't find the charger piece, and I really wanted to be able to play my games. And the thing that sucked was I was playing Rico, and then once I was getting through the level, all of a sudden it said you need to charge your tablet because the battery's dead. I was like, oh shoot, just when I was in the middle of the mission, so I had to basically quit and shut it off and let it charge for the rest of the day, or the night rather. But that's why I bought this, and I got that. I didn't buy any like cases for the Nintendo Switch. I know they have that available, but I didn't buy any of that. And I do need Mario Kart 8 and Zelda Breath of the Wild. But I'm probably going to buy that when GameStop has like a buy two get one free deal. So that way I can get 3 games and only have to pay for 2. And Mario Kart's still pricey even though the game came out 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, I'm just going to wait for now. But there isn't going to be a lot of commentary on these games because I haven't played all of them. I just haven't had the time. But I can tell you the ones that I have played. So sorry about that because, I'm an opinionative kind of guy. So I want to let y'all know how I feel about the game, if it sucks or if it's a really good game. But in this video, there won't be much of that, unfortunately. Paper Mario the Origami King, I have not played it yet. I bought this off of Larry at Empire Video Games. And yeah, I just haven't had a chance to play it. But I do look forward to playing it. Risk of Rain 2. Now this I actually did play some of. It's like a third-person shooter where you're like this, kind of like I don't know if he's a robot or an astronaut, and the premise of the game is you're shooting bugs in space, and like they're all attacking you. But you shoot bugs in the game, and the worlds are pretty big, and you're basically trying to get to a certain spot, and then after that you end up fighting a boss, and then once you beat the boss, you go on to the next level. I only sank a few hours into it, but from what I played, it was pretty good. But it does get pretty difficult after time. It is nice that you can like explore a little bit and see the worlds. The graphics are beautiful. I mean, they look pretty damn good. I was really impressed. And the shooting mechanics work well, and so does pretty much everything else in the game. And what's nice is I didn't see this when I first bought it, because I thought I was going to have to buy the first Risk of Rain, but then I see in the corner here it said Risk of Rain, the first one. And when I downloaded it, or I mean, when I installed this to the hard drive, rather, it gave me the first one. So that was excellent deal. I mean, $15 for both games, that's a hell of a deal. You can't go wrong with that. Oh, Super Mario Odyssey, how wonderful you are. One of the best Mario games ever made. I mean, don't get me wrong, Super Mario 64 is still great, and that is probably, up there in my top 5 best Mario games. And Mario Galaxy 2 was up there as well, in the first Mario Galaxy. But Super Mario Odyssey is just as awesome, if not better, in every single way. And I will go as far to say that this is a must-own. Like, if you get a Nintendo Switch, this is a game you need in your collection. It is one of the best games you can get on the Nintendo Switch. And this game came out 3 or 4 years ago, but it's still going to run you around $50. You're lucky if you get it for $40. I got it for $42 or $43 off of eBay. So I think that's decent, but if you go to GameStop, it's $50. Even I think a used copy is only like $5 cheaper. But it's great. You get to explore the levels. At that level in the city, you get coins. Kill a bunch of monsters. You try to rescue Princess Peach and fight Bowser at the end. I have not beaten this game. Don't get me wrong, I haven't beaten it, but I have seen this game at the very end on YouTube, of course. But it is a great game, and I definitely highly recommend that you check it out. MX vs. ATV All Out. I don't usually say this, but this game's underrated. I mean, compared to like MX vs. ATV Untamed on the PS2 and MX vs. MX vs. ATV Reflex, I believe is what it's called, on a PS3, Xbox 360, and I think PSP. Those aren't as underrated as this one, because this one I think it's just on the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. I could be wrong. It could be just Nintendo Switch, but I'm pretty sure it's on the PlayStation 4 as well. But I think it's underrated, and it's a good game. Oh, Doom. Oh, yes. They actually made a good port of Doom on the Switch. Like, you would think that this game would stink on the Nintendo Switch, but no. It was good. It was definitely worth the money. It's just as good as the PS4 version, and I definitely highly recommend you check this one out. They also did port Doom Eternal, which was a good move on Nintendo. And hopefully Nintendo will come out with a few other shooter games for the system, because it seems like we're not getting very many for the Nintendo Switch. We only got like Sniper Elite 3 and 4, Doom Eternal, The Persistence. You got the Crisis games, but they were remastered. And then you had like Call of War as Gunslingers, and then you had Rico. And that's about it for shooters on the system. There aren't very many on the Nintendo Switch. I may have missed a few, but I'm pretty sure that that's most of them. Strife, there's another one. That's a shooter. But that game is really expensive for some reason. It must be a limited run print game or something. But I know that's a shooter as well. I think there's a sequel to Rico as well. Anyways, Persona 5 Strikers. I know they just came out with Persona 5 Royal, which is, I think, more of a fighting game. This one's actually an RPG. I have not played it yet. I just haven't had the time. I played the older Persona game. I played Persona 4 on the PS Vita, and I think I played Persona 3. And that's about it. I never played the first two Persona games, unfortunately. I'm not sure. They might have been on PC or something. Resident Evil Origins Collection. I don't usually buy remakes. I've played both of these on GameCube, but the one thing that is nice is that the graphics are much better, and I did like how the game plays better on the system. I mean, you can play with the original tank controls, or you can play with all new controls, and the new controls actually make the game more enjoyable because you don't have to worry about that backwards ass controls that I hate. The damn tank controls that annoy the heck out of everyone. Yeah, those were pretty frustrating. Well, in this game, you can actually choose either or. I chose to play with the all new controls, and the game is much better. Now, what does suck is that you have to download this game to play it. But hell, I played it on GameCube, so I guess I don't really need to play it again. But I'm sure it plays much better than the GameCube counterpart. But other than that, this game was just a remake. But I didn't pay too much money for it. I got it for like $20 off of eBay, so it's not too bad of a deal. You get two games. You get the original Resident Evil, and you get Resident Evil 0. So I mean, for $20, I'm not really going to complain too much. It's just that I wish it was something different. There was a few different things for this game, but for the most part, it's just a remake. AI, the Somnian Files. I've said this a number of times in my Nintendo Switch Top 15 games when I mention like underrated games. This game's underrated. I haven't played too much of it, but from what I have played, you play as a girl. She's a detective. There's this other guy that helps her throughout the game. Or maybe it might be a girl, Alba and Tamma. Those two are the ones that basically trying to solve these murders that are going on. And it's got like a anime style to it. So it's a detective game with two people trying to solve murders. And it's done really well. But if you don't like the anime style, just stick with like Sherlock Holmes. Those games are the Agatha Christie game on PS4. You'll like that more. I'm not like a huge anime fan per se. Never really was crazy about anime except for Death Note. But I will say that this game is highly underrated and it's definitely worth checking out. But it's not a game that you get to shoot everything in sight. It's more about puzzle solving and solving crime. So, and there's some story dialogue in it, so it has a story-based gameplay to it. So if you're not into that, then you probably won't like this game, but I like that type of game. I can deal with it. And like I said, it's underrated and it's really good, and I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of anime and you like detective style games. You'll love it. Oh, and it's not cheap either. I had to pay $50 for that on eBay. I couldn't find it in GameStop, so I had to buy it off of eBay. So beware, you will pay a premium price for that, even though it's not Mario. The Persistence. Again, I have not sank a lot of time into it, but from what I played, it definitely had a creepy, atmospheric vibe to it. There were certain parts of the game where I could just shoot the enemies, and there are other times where you can't really do that. You have to be more strategic because you might have to like insert a key into like a machine, and it'd be like a guy standing right there, and you're just poking around a corner, and there's other people in there, and if they see you, they're just gonna shoot at you. And you have to be strategic about how you go about certain things, because if you're not, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up dead. So you gotta be careful. So it's a shooter, but it does have some stealth elements in it. But from what I played, it was pretty good. Rico seemed like a pretty good cop game. You just go around through the levels, you shoot things, you solve crime. Um, I did see that you also yeah, it's got some mission based stuff in it. Like, you kill the enemies in the game, but you also gotta find some evidence and stuff. You find like money and stuff like that, and that's how you like progress through the game. The Real G Money Hairston mentioned this in her top 10 Nintendo Switch games. And I think I'd put it on my list too because it's definitely a good game to check out for the Nintendo Switch. And it's not very expensive. It only run you about $20. So I mean for that it's definitely worth checking out for a shooting game on the system. Close to the Sun, never played it. Haven't had a chance to play it, but I've heard it's pretty scary. I've also heard that it's pretty boring, but I don't know because I haven't really played it. The Outer Worlds, I got that from Larry at Empire Video Games. I didn't pay anything for it. I got it in store credit. I had enough to get one game in store credit. I decided to do that, and then get the Switch half off and pay for the rest. Deathmark, this is very creepy. This game scared the shit out of me, honestly, because this game, it was on the Vita, but they ported it to the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. It's about this guy who ends up with like a mark on his wrist, and he ends up in like this mansion, and everything is not what it seems. And when you get in there, the lights turn off, and it's really creepy. You end up in this one room, and like there's a dead body there. I don't want to get too into it because that would make my show more R-rated, and the show is PG. So I'm just gonna say that it was a pretty gruesome scene. And you do end up meeting this girl who is like a doll. And she's kind of freaky, kind of creepy. But she does sort of help you and tell you what's going on, that you have a death mark on your arm, your wrist, and that if you don't stop it in 2 days, you're basically going to die. And later on, there are two other people that you come across in the game. They end up having the same death mark on them. You have to decide which one you're going to choose to help you on the case. There's a lot of puzzle solving. You go in the level, you end up in a school, and you have to puzzle solve things. It's a really freaky game. I mean, it scared me. There were many times in this game where I was left on edge. I'm searching through the rooms, trying to find stuff, and then all of a sudden, there's like a creepy shadow that just is there through the walls, and I have to talk to it, and I have to answer its questions, and if I answer it incorrectly, I die. I mean, it just freaked the hell out of me. Like, this is not a game for the weak. I quit playing it after a while because it was too scary for me personally. I know, I may sound like a wimp, but some scary games, they don't affect me, like Resident Evil, but then like I play something like that or Silent Hill, it is too scary for me. Oh, and I got No More Heroes 3, and I opened it, but I have not had a chance to play it, unfortunately. But I have played No More Heroes 1 and 2 and really liked those games. I thought 2 was a better game overall because I hated the driving stages in the first game, especially if you lost your car and then you had to go through the city and find your car again and get in the car and drive to that location. That was annoying. But the second game really improved upon the first game. And I'm sure that this one is even better. Travis Touchdown is a real badass assassin. So those are all the Nintendo Switch games that I currently own. Like I said, I will be getting Mario Kart 8 and Zelda Breath of the Wild and one other game at the end of November. Trust me, it's going to happen. And probably by that point, I'll be able to update you guys on some of the details of the games that I have and give more commentary on it. But hell, I think for what I got so far, I think the commentary was pretty decent. But like I said, there will be more details on each game to make it more interesting. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and the next video I do will be on the Sega Saturn collection, and I'll be combining that with the PlayStation 1 games because I don't have very many Sega Saturn games. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, Larry Cool the Gamer, signing out. Peace.